Hello, what's up guys? It's Pixelated-Apollo. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome back to Middle-earth. It is great to be playing Third Age Total War once again, and today we are going to witness a very large battle. We're going to see the High Elves and the Kingdom of Arnor work together against a massive horde of orcs, and this is what we live for. This is what we dream of. I mean, this is why we love Third Age Total War, just seeing like Gondor and elves and whatever it may be take on these massive armies of orcs. But looking at the orc side, we have the orcs of Gundabad, and then in the center we have the orcs of the Misty Mountains. One of my favorite factions. They're not very good, they just look really cool. I love that goblin heavy halberd, type unit. And then way over here we have the King of Kings, Mordor. So fantastic. Alright, so this is going to be a really interesting battle strategy wise, because not only are the good factions outnumbered, they also have less money. So they've got 30k, and then the orcs have about 35k. Now, the one thing that they do have in their favor is that each army has more money. So like each good army has 15k, and then each orc army has about 11.6, something like that. So I think what they need to do to win this is actually be really aggressive, because Mordor is all by himself, and the elves, they're already making a mistake here by giving up this position. Now I understand that there's a giant hill right here, but I still think even with this hill, he could defeat this army very easily, and then he can just let his teammate, take on two armies, and hopefully he can do enough damage. Now, if you want the orcs to win, or what the orcs have to do to win, they have to work together. They have to attack all at once and overwhelm the flanks of the good factions. But anyways, let's get started with these army comps. We'll begin in that same order, starting with the High Elves, commanded by Nano Vader. He is bringing mostly Eldar Enway kind of infantry, so he's got like 2 units of swordsmen, about 4 or 5 units of spearmen. He's got about 2 units of Mithlin nobles, and he also has about 3 units of the Eldar Enway archers. So of course, he's bringing archers to the battle, and he has 2 units of the Eldar Enway lancers, and this is his general unit. Fantastic. Let's move on to the Kingdom of Arnor, which is over here. So he is bringing some nice Dunedain Rangers. By the way, it's commanded by Satan, Mr. Savage. 3 units of Dunedain Rangers. He's got 1 unit of Hobbitrian arms. I think it's safe to say he's going to use it as a meat shield, so that's going to be pretty sad. Poor hobbits making the ultimate sacrifice. But he also has the Bandobras archers, which is a little bit better than the Hobbit archers. I mean, they are hobbits, but they're, better than the Hobbit archers. And then for his infantry, he's got the battle-ready Dunedain, a couple units of them, 3 units of the Arnor pikemen, 2 units of the dismounted Dunedain knights, Arnor knights, and 2 units of the Knights of Anumanas, which I think has the general in it, or maybe it's one of the... Oh yeah, here's the general in the dismounted Dunedain Knight unit. So that is the army for the men. Let's move on to the evil boys. We'll start with Gundabad, who's actually bringing a ton of Snaga Stalkers, which is a really, really cheap infantry unit. He's got some caved or mountain trolls here with the general in that unit. You can see the general hanging out with his troll buddies. And then he's bringing some warg riders. I believe he's got mostly orc marauders for his more elite infantry, for the orcs. Some goblin band and more orc marauders, and I believe some orc fellers over here. So that is the army of Gundabad. Let's move on, Gundabad. Let's move on to the Misty Mountain here. He's bringing like 6, or by the way, it's commanded by Ragnar Lord Brock. He's bringing 6 units of heavy goblin halberds. Which is a crazy amount. That must have been really expensive. And then he has a cave troll. Oh, he's got to have a cave troll. They have a cave troll. And then some heavy goblin infantry, like 2 units of them. I believe he's got about 3 units of heavy archers. He has a ballista. About 2 units of warg riders, which, I mean, these warg riders, they look so goofy on these wargs. It looks good for the mod, but look at this guy. Look at that face. Oh my god, disgusting. Then he's got some goblin infantry, so that's pretty much the Misty Mountain forces. Let's move on to Mordor. He's mostly bringing an elite Uruk army, so he's got like 2 or 3 units of Uruk archers. He has the Uruk halberds here, about 3 or 4 units of them. And then he has the Uruks, the like, you know, sword and shield infantry. And then in the back, he's got some spearmen. So about 3 units of spearmen. And for his general, he has the, let's see, there's some mountain trolls, by the way. Where is the general? Whoa, where is he? Oh, here he is. Oh my goodness, I could not find him. All right, so we'll go back to normal speed here. The Black Numenorians, a very good unit. You just have to use them wisely. Very, very skilled. So this battle actually takes a little while here to get ready. Mordor is kind of marching around the flank. The elves are trying to zone out the Mordor's flank. Oh, hold the phone. I think we do have a cav charge over here. The elves going for the Black Numenorians, and this is going to be the start of the battle. So going at, maybe they're trying to assassinate the general. Not really sure. But they are stuck in a pretty heated melee, and I believe the Black Numenorians, oh yes, they are winning this engagement. I think they took a couple casualties there, like 2 Black Numenorians, but they took out like over 5 elves there. So a pretty good matchup, and the Mordor army continues to march around the elven flank. The elves are getting pretty close to their ally, but hold the phone, we got some action going on over here as well. The Kingdom of Arnor using their Arnor Knights to try to do some cycle charges on the Snaga Stalkers. So, you know, even though this is a really cheap unit, he doesn't want to lose them like that to some, you know, pretty expensive cav. You know, you want to try to keep every infantry intact. Because you're gonna need every man to take down these really good factions, like the elves and men. That was an epic charge right there. I mean, you know, it's a pretty easy charge for the Arnor Knights. They're just taking on Snaga Stalkers. This is just like a piece of cake, you know, for them. But we do have some Orc halberds getting into position, so he's gonna try to zone them out with the halberds, which is a great idea. And I think things are going to kind of simmer down. Let's move on back over to the flank of the elves, which I believe they are reforming on this hill. And what is up with his army? They're like all over the place. You see like elves running all over the place. And look at this, guys. What in the world, guys? You can go around the rock. Why do you do this? This has happened so many times in Medieval 2 where just units get stuck. Oh, I gotta take a screenshot of this. This is epic. Look at this. The lone elf who marches on mountaintops. Fantastic. But yeah, hopefully they move out of that position or they're just gonna get slaughtered from Mordor. But it looks like, if we see here, the elves are kind of holding this kind of like cliff right here. Now, if he's gonna hold right here against Mordor, he might as well send his entire army, because I don't like this wave kind of defense thing. Like, you either stand your ground with your entire army or you run with your entire army. So it looks like the elves are gonna try to put up some kind of thin defense. The problem with this is that Mordor, he can just flank around. He can just use his numbers and flank around these elves and just cause them to break without, you know, the elves using them to their full potential. These guys are still stuck at the rock. Let's move over to the other side, because I believe Gundabad, yes, Gundabad is getting ready for an assault, and this is not good. The reason that this is not good is because they need to attack together, and they are not doing that. So let's see, maybe Gundabad's just kind of forming up here, but you can see the carnage that already took place here with the cav and the Snaga Stalkers. Those creepy stalkers. Alright, so the archers are firing, just focusing down on these warg riders. I think he's going to try to silence the archers, maybe try to get the Arnor Knights, get them killed. But I don't really see these warg riders doing too much here. I mean, warg riders are so bad, and it's so sad because they're so cool in the books and movies and whatnot. There goes another charge. So he's charging both units of warg riders into this very intense fight, but they are just getting chewed up by those archers. And now the Snaga Stalkers are about to charge into these hobbitry arms, and this is really sad. It's like, how could these hobbits fight knowing that they're just meat to slow down the orcs? I mean, could you imagine, like, sir, the orcs are charging, send up the hobbits. Like, oh my god, how could we? Oh, well, what can you do? You gotta die sometime, I guess. But there's a massive horde of orcs, and this looks amazing. This absolutely epic charge here of orc marauders, orc fellers, and they have still yet to meet against the elite infantry. Here we go. We actually do have some orc fellers clashing with the Arnor men at arms. Here we go. More and more troops running over this hill. Snaga stalkers going into the fight as well. And we just look over, we can see this huge Gundabad army, one of the larger armies on the battlefield. Here we go. Here comes the next. Oh, and here comes the arrows coming in. Put your shields up, boys. They're going to try to charge in and take on those pikemen, which is going to be a very tough unit to take on alone. So I'm really surprised that Gundabad is doing this. Oh, there goes pikes down, hold the line. We got this. I mean, the Arnor's probably feeling pretty confident. Oh, here comes some cycle charges. Looks like he's going to get his cav here ready. Oh, he's going to pull back, maybe get a better cav shark there. Oh, there they go. There they go. Charge in there. Very nice. If we look on the other side, though, we do have Mordor pushing forward. So the elves are going to defend with like half of their army, which is really interesting. Why would he do that? It's usually not a good strategy, especially in Medieval 2. You got to fight as one unit. Do not divide your forces. I mean, I'm sure there's like very specific situations where you can do that. But look at this. We got mountain trolls charging into the Eldar Inway swordsmen there. Oh, a brutal charge. And then over here, we've got the Uruk halberds. And this is actually a really clever strategy. What he's doing here is that he's stretching out his line so he can engage all four of the infantry units here. And then he's going to push his infantry to flank and just overwhelm the elves. So that is fantastic. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. I haven't really seen a lot of strategy like that, but you know, you don't necessarily see a lot of opportunity to do that kind of strategy because usually people defend with their entire army. But the elves, they will learn from their mistake once taking on this great Mordor army. Let's real quick look at what's going on with... Oh, looks like they are just causing a mass rout over here. Really no surprise about that. I mean, once the cav was doing hammer and anvil, it wasn't really gonna, you know, hold up against such elite forces. And Gundabad is just getting destroyed. He needs to fall back. He needs to try to save as many men as possible. We also have some trolls going into the fight who are trying to slaughter and just destroy the Anumanas, the knights. Archers are still letting loose their arrows, trying to get some kills on the troops running away. And then he's falling back. The Misty Mountain trolls here are falling back to a safer position. Yeah, you don't want to get too aggressive there. Nice position with the ballista, with the orcs of the Misty Mountains. Firing down on the lines of Arnorian soldiers. And the elves have also joined up with their Arnor allies, but this is only half of their army. Let's move back to this fight over here because things are getting pretty intense. The elves are trying to do some cycle charges on the backs of the trolls, but it's not really being that effective. And we can see this epic front line here. Oh, here comes the flanking charge. This is the nail in the coffin for these elves. So the flanks have been exposed. Their morale is wavering. They're losing morale. Our morale is wavering. Then we're gonna waver. Oh, man. Oh, he's moving up more infantry, though. He's got 2 units of spearmen. Why is he committing more forces over here? We got Uruks now that are gonna engage them. Oh, man, I just love the look of the elves, though. They look so awesome. And then we got some troops running on the top of this hillside that are gonna come crashing down and cause a lot of fear in the flanks of the elves here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. All right. Fantastic. Good charge. Good charge. And the elves are running away their cav, and their infantry is getting chopped into pieces. Yeah, they've mostly wiped out the elves over here. You can see their dead bodies there. And now, yep, these guys are breaking from the fight. A unit of 20 elves running for their lives, their immortal lives. Yeah, that was a pretty good hammer strike here. Hammer and anvil strike from the Lancers who strike the backs of these Uruks. And we also have the fire arrows coming in, which looks really cool, but you probably shouldn't use fire arrows. I mean, there's very rare situations when you want to use fire arrows. Fire arrows are really good at breaking the enemies, like morale, like, you know, causing them to waver and stuff. The only time you want to do it is if you're like taking on these mass numbers and you need them to chain route and use fire arrows to break the morale. But I think in this situation, it would be way better. In most situations, it would be way better to use standard shot instead of, you know, flaming arrows. The Lancers are going to disengage here, continue to put pressure on the flank of these spearmen here, which are just going to chew up. And the general, look at this, the general is just in the thick of the fight. He doesn't care. And then fire arrows are firing on the general's position. The elves are so reckless with their generals. But this is a pretty epic stand here from the spearmen. I just wish he didn't commit these forces. He's going to need them over here. What they need to do at this situation is just form a noob square, or just a very defensive box. It looks like they're kind of doing that over here. They're just, you know, trying to form up on this ridge line so they can have a slightly, you know, uphill kind of advantage. But the elves are now taking on these Uruk archers. The general of the elves still in the fight. What a crazy reckless man. Look at it. He's giving them the order to fire on the general's position. But to be fair, elves are like, they have really good eyesight, so they probably are really good with their accuracy and stuff. So they probably know to miss the general there. But we got a nice skirmish battle going on. And the elves are falling back, and that's pretty much what's left of the elves. I mean, the spearmen now are breaking from just the these poor elves just being completely surrounded by orcs, running for their lives. And this is what's left of Mordor. So the elves definitely put a dent in Mordor's army. It's just that Mordor almost defeated the elves alone by himself. Or yeah, that's repetitive, but anyway, you know what I mean. He did a great job of just taking on the elves and almost defeating his entire army. Now he still has like 5 units left, so it's not completely over, but it's not looking great so far for the good guys. So we'll see what happens here. The cav units for the Kingdom of Arnor getting really harassed from those archers up there and the ballista, so they're pretty depleted. So this is going to be an important unit here for the victory of the good guys. And what we're going to do now, guys, is just fast forward a little bit. So this is where Mordor kind of gets a little too aggressive. I was really hoping that, like, okay, this is, like, at this point in the battle, they need to attack together. But Mordor is going to go ahead and just charge in anyways. See, the guys up here should be marching down already. Like, they should be almost near the front lines because Mordor is all alone. A great charge into these spearmen. Fantastic. Really enjoyed that. You got the archers back here. Very good. He's using standard shot. That is great to see there. So he's going to fire over the hill. And we've got just a reckless amount of arrows crashing into these halberds. Oh, the hobbits are using as meat shields again, just to hold back these troops to buy more time for the archers. But they are just getting torn up. They're looking like Swiss cheese. Very good use of the fire arrows. Here we go. Come on, guys. Get up there. Just get to the front lines quickly. I don't know why Mordor's not running his men. I know they're in like phalanx formation, but you can get out of that formation and then form back up because he is just taking heavy amounts of casualties from those arrows. There we go. The elves hold. Look at those shields. Fantastic shields there. I love the elven fashion statement. It's easy, breezy, beautiful, and deadly. There we go. So the front lines have finally started. Oh, the cav charging into the flank of the orc marauders. This is pretty much what's left of Gundabad. And Gundabad is trying to help Mordor. Here comes another charge into the archers who are trying to skirmish down the defenders here, or the good guys. There we go. Great charge there, taking out a good amount of those Uruk archers. Still have this unit over here. Oh, he's going to go for another charge here. Lances did not go down, unfortunately. And more infantry joining the front line against the elves. And the elves are looking pretty good. They're doing all right. They're doing all right. We've got a huge flank here from Mordor. I believe he's going to try to go around the infantry and try to take out some of these archers. But this hill position is going to be absolutely brutal. He's going to wipe out so many of these orcs from afar. There we go. The hobbits are doing a great job, you know, fighting for the free world. Middle Earth, fighting for Middle Earth. There we go. The Dunedain Knights are surrounded now from Uruks and Spearmen. But the lines here are thinning. We got Hammer and Anvil going on with the Knights of Anumanas. And the Ballista is now firing. We have some trolls joining the engagement, going after these pikemen. More and more trolls. He wants a piece of action. Here he comes. Nice. And then we've got more Gundabad committing in their defeated troops. There they go. Some wargs are in the fight as well. This is the epic last stand. Here comes some archers. Are they out of ammo or are they just getting closer to the fight? I'm not really sure. I believe he's going to use them as infantry soon because his men are running pretty low against Mordor's halberds. But with the help of the Dunedain Knights, he should be able to hold pretty well. Oh, the fire arrows, man. Oh, here comes the Black Numenorians. They're going to go a flanking charge on these knights. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful fight, guys. There's the general. He's getting his sword wet. And, oh no. Okay, so the orcs really tried to push on those archers. But remember, guys, these are Dunedain Rangers. They're pretty good in melee, and they're causing the Uruks to break. It's just too much for them. And let's see what's going on the other side. Oh, look at this. All right, finally, the Orcs of the Misty Mountains have engaged some of their heavy infantry. So they're finally putting pressure on other flanks. The Ballista is still firing at, you know, grouped up units, trying to take out these pikemen. The trolls are still taking on the Dunedain Knights. And here comes the Black Numenorians going for another cycle charge, trying to take out the very elite Dunedain Knights. But those archers are just toasting these Black Numenorians. We're going to need some butter because they are toasted. Cringe-worthy commentary. Alright, so we've got a nice flanking push here from the Goblin Infantry. Supporting them, we have some trolls, cave trolls. They have a cave troll. And the Arnor Men at Arms are having a tough time. Defeat seems certain for them. But we do have hobbits now joining the fight, switching to their little daggers. And finally, most of the Orcs of the Misty Mountains are charging down this hill. I don't know why he's attacking in waves. I really don't understand, like, why is his entire army not moving forward? I mean, it pretty much is, but it's a very, like, scrambled formation. And Mordor, at this point, has been destroyed. Oh, there goes Arnor's general. So that was a really good charge there, taking out a very key objective to the victory of this fight. The general, of course. Good charge from those Black Numenorians. And we got just a ditch over here. They're fighting over a small ditch. And yeah, Mordor is breaking because he's just completely surrounded by his Dunedain Rangers. Here comes another cycle charge. He's really trying to take out those elite Dunedain Knights. That was a pretty good charge. Downhill. Now his general's pretty bloodied up. He needs to be careful with that. The elves are still using their bows. Oh, the ballista coming in, the dead accurate ballista. And the elves are victorious on this side. And that's it, guys. Mordor is off the battlefield. There goes the general of Gundabad. He was taking on some pikemen there. But the elves can now focus their attention on the main assault here. We can see the Orcs of the Misty Mountains going for the final push. The balance of power is almost even. I would say it's slightly in favor of the Orcs here, but here's a good bird's eye view of the situation. We've got a small pocket of fighting here. Most of the forces are marching down this way. The ballista is focusing down a very key target like the Eldar Inway archers. And now, here they come. Come on, heavy goblin halberds. He really needs to be running them. You don't want to get hit from archers. Now, we do have the orc archers firing back there, focusing down, which I believe they're, yeah, the hobbits here, which have formed up. This guy's like, it's like daycare for him. He's like, come on, hobbits, form up, here they come. Don't be afraid. Here comes more goblin infantry going for those Arnor men at arms. All these armies are depleted and tired. I mean, the orcs in the Misty Mountains are looking pretty good. Here comes another charge. Fantastic charge. The general, Mordor's general, you know, he might as well use him very recklessly because he doesn't have an army, so if he dies, it doesn't really matter. The archers are reforming up on this hill. We can see the Dunedain Rangers. It looks like I think they still have ammo. I'm pretty sure. I mean, some of these archers still have ammo back here. Oh, here comes another bullet. Oh, take cover. Oh, rest in peace, my friend. I told you not to pour gasoline on you. It's gonna burn you, man. Gonna turn you into toast. All right, so the elves are now forming up with their allies here, the men. It's good to see men and elves fighting together once more. Now the hobbits are doing a courageous charge down on the goblin halberd infantry down this hill. The battle-ready Dunedain also trying to get a charge bonus against these guys. Oh, some friendly fire coming in from those arrows, though. You need to watch out for that. Oh, why is he moving so slow with his halberds? He needs to get them out of phalanx formation. Oh, and there goes Mordor's general dead from an arrow in the butt. But yeah, he could definitely try to like get around this flank and just outflank the good guys here. Here we go. Here comes the goblin halberds. Defeat seems certain already. They're already wavering. And there we go. They broke. They are broken. Broken souls. Oh, another good ballista shot right there. Taking out, yes, taking out the spearmen. Come on, goblins. What are you doing now? Form up. The Dunedain Rangers forming up on this side. The archers are using fire arrows. Not really sure why they are using that. It just seems like players in this match, they want to use the fire arrows. They think it looks really cool. I don't know. You know, I totally get it. Like, if you're using the fire arrows just to make it look cool, like, that's cool. Like, I enjoy that. But here we go. Finally, the halberds slowly inching their way up. And they're going to finally meet the Arnorian pikemen. Battle-ready Dunedain also just holding their ground. Ooh, friendly fire coming in. Oh, and here comes a flanking charge from the Dunedain Rangers, who have used up their ammo. Oh man, he really needs to try to push on this flank. He needs to get around these guys. If he's gonna win this, he's got to get around the pikemen. He cannot fight them head on. So things look pretty safe on this flank, so the elves might as well commit their forces to this side. Here we go, the elves are charging in. Charging right into those halberds. Battle-ready Dunedain. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Here comes the Dunedain Rangers now stopping this flank of the heavy goblin halberds. Pretty epic front line. Lots and lots of fighting that took place in this one area. And look at this. Look at this formation. He's forming this nice U shape around the goblins. The goblins are not going to have that, and they're going to send in their goblin infantry to try to flank these pikemen. Here they go. Come on. Got to save your goblin halberds there. Let's see. Yes, indeed. And remember, guys, Arnor doesn't have a general, so they could chain route at any second. They just need to keep, you know, keep killing those Arnorian soldiers, and you never know when you'll get a chain route. But the balance of power is still in favor of the goblins, of the orcs. Uh-oh, is he breaking here? Yes, a massive break from the Dunedain Rangers. Oh, there's still one more holding them back. Oh, the Black Numenorian, a lone Black Numenorian. Oh, don't you die on me. Keep up the good fight. He's trying to break them. See, if he can break through with the heavy goblin halberds, then he could flank around these guys right here and cause some pretty bad maneuvering. It would be a pretty bad situation for the Kingdom of Arnor. Let's see, there's Dunedain though. Defeat seems certain, but you know they're still in the fight. They're not giving up just yet. Oh, what is this? The elves went for a charge here to silence some of the archers. So the elves, a very good maneuver there, trying to save some men from the archers killing them. sitting back and killing them. Oh, nice. Double kill. Fantastic. Love the animations in Medieval 2. Oh, look at that volley. That was epic looking volley going for the Dunedain Knights. Oh, that was really cool. Here comes the hobbits now. Oh, there's another volley. Look at that. That is so awesome. That voice crack was so awesome as well. There goes the goblins. They're falling back. Looks like this is going to be a mass break right here from the heavy goblin halberds. The Dunedain charging in as well, trying to get a piece of that action. They still have 2 units over here, though. So it's not over yet. Oh, sorry, guys. I hit my mic there. If the archers can continue to fire down on the troops, because it seems like the Dunedain Rangers and the Elven Archers have used up their ammo. They just need to use standard shot. They need to stop using fire arrows. Use that standard shot, even though it looks amazing. Because he's missing a lot of opportunities for kills by doing this. So here we go. Fire! Alright, fire whenever you want. Whatever. Uh-oh. They're standing their ground. The elves are coming. Oh, yes. Good volley there. Let's see if they can get one more volley before the elves reach them in melee. I believe so. They're getting ready. They're loading up their bows here. Here we go. One more volley. One more volley. Come on. Oh, no. They didn't pull it off. That's unfortunate. But here comes the elves. They're going to charge in. And then, whoop, here's a nice epic fight here as well. So this is for all the marbles. Balance of power is dead even. The elves are joining this battle now. The ballista firing down on this position. Trying to take out some of the elves here. Oh, they are going to be lucky this time. Do they have enough to defeat these battle-ready Dunedain and these elves? Oh, there goes the elves. They're joining the front line now. He should have just flanked around with them, honestly. I mean, I guess he just wanted to reinforce that front line. But we got pikemen pushing on the flank. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Nope, they're breaking. So this is a good time to use fire arrows, actually, because you got them surrounded and you're just trying to get them to break. Oh, that ballista shot. Oh, yeah. Oh, another good one. Fantastic. And the balance of power, well, I think it's pretty clear now that the elves and the men are going to win this fight. But this is still a pretty close matchup. I mean, if these archers can defeat the archers of the High Elves, they can win this. I think they still have a chance, especially with that ballista firing. He's just got to stop using fire arrows. Got to use that standard shot. You get a faster rate of fire. It's more accurate. Oh, but it's so cool to see. That is for sure. And then here comes the battle-ready Dunedain. This is what's left of their forces. A very small amount of troops. Let's just go ahead and just kind of fast forward here and see this epic charge from the hobbits, elves, and men. There we go. Charge in, boys. This will probably break them pretty quickly. Yep, they're breaking. And I think it's safe to say at this point that the battle is over. Look at that balance of power. A very brutal fight for the orcs. Both sides, I think, made some pretty big mistakes there. Like when the elves divided their army over in this fight here, was not good. He got wiped out by very few orcs, but he did a good job of recovering and protecting this flank. And then what the orcs did wrong here is that they attacked in waves. If they just attacked all at the same time, it would have been game over for the elves and the men. But let's just look at this battlefield here, guys, and just look at all of the fallen soldiers, the orcs, the men, the hobbits, and the elves. Fantastic. Wonderful. This is why Third Age is just so good. Just love seeing the aftermath of a battlefield. And this was a really, close one. I really enjoyed it, for sure. Let's just continue to fast forward because they're just chasing down troops. I think it's pretty safe to say that this is over. So first off, thank you guys so much for watching this battle. It means a lot to me. If you did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like, a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, check out my channel. If you like it, subscribe if you want to see more epic battles. Alright, so here's the results, guys. I just want to give a big GG to all the players. This was a lot of fun to watch. And this one was sent in by Ask the Dwarf. So I do appreciate the battle replay. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed this one. Nice close battle and a pretty cool matchup. But he got the most kills, 781. His ally Gundabad getting 115, which is, whew, I mean, for that size of that army, getting 115, I mean, that is That is low. He should have waited for his allies before he charged in. Would have been a different outcome, I think. And then the Misty Mountain here getting 700, so close behind Mordor. But look at this, guys. Arnor getting 2,270 kills. And then just under 1,000 for the High Elves. Let's look at the results here. Most kills, the Black Numenorians for Mordor, which is no surprise there. 133 for the Halberds. All his Halberds getting over 100 kills, which is fantastic. Those Halberds are pretty good. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.